conservatism isn't what we've been led to believe. Because, you know, as young men, especially in our generation, they tell you Republicans are bad, Republicans are racist, but that's just like what being conservative is being like mostly on the right. So he just kind of opened our mind up to the idea that this is normal. Like, it's not what you've been told.
How do you guys start a YouTube channel, and how does it become to the point where you're like, Trump?
You want to go?
I mean, we were just reacting to music, man. The COVID hit. And really what happened, I think Officer Tatum, we seen one of his videos pop up. And I was like, who is this guy? You know, and I clicked it, and I think it was Vivek Ramaswamy cooking Don Lemon. And we were like, you know, it was pretty cool. It was fun to watch. So we were like, hey, this is pretty cool. So we just started reacting to Officer Tatum only. And then
Thomas Sowell.
Yeah, well, we got
Thomas Sowell really
Yeah,
cool.
Thomas Sowell flipped
really
the book
did it.
for real for us.
Yeah, no,
That
he
dude's
really
a
did it.
legend.
No, he is.
Yeah.
He is.
We did his video on, like, he explained like how black culture came to what it is. That's probably one of our best videos. It's got 1 million, and I think that really opened our mind up to like maybe things are a little differently than we've been led to believe.
Yeah.
And then Officer Tatum was another thing. We just like agreed with everything he said. It was like, okay, this is controversial, but like it's real talk he's saying. Like,
Right. And that's the thing too. It's like, if this guy just tells you the truth, why is it controversial? What he's saying is not wrong.
No, facts.
Right.
Facts.
So tell me about the Thomas Sowell stuff.
So yeah, no. So we watched the Thomas Sowell video. I remember like, so people, when we used to do like other reactions, people would request stuff in the comments. And I remember people kept saying, do Thomas Sowell, do Thomas Sowell, do Thomas Sowell. So one day we would come out of class every day at like 8, 9 p.m. and we would record 4 videos a day, every day. And I remember we needed a video, and I was like, we should just do the Thomas Sowell. They keep asking for it. And we did it. And we were in there for like, I think this was like almost an hour-long video. And the video we reacted to was like 15 minutes, I think, 15, 20 minutes. And we were in there for an hour just going back and forth, like mind blown. And it was just crazy. Like, he just opened our mind up to like, maybe like conservatism isn't what we've been led to believe. Because, you know, as young men, especially in our generation, they tell you Republicans are bad, Republicans are racist. But that's just like what being conservative is being like mostly on the right. So he just kind of opened our mind up to the idea that this is normal. Like, it's not what you've been told.
You guys had you ever watched Thomas Sowell before that?
No.
You know,
They get you in the comments like, hey, watch this, and then you're like, whoa.
Yeah, literally.
the crazy part, he reacted to us too.
He did.
Oh,
Watched us react to him. And he was
Yeah, it was
surprised.
awesome.
It was-
He seemed pretty unfazed, though.
Yeah, he started smiling. They were like, you're affecting the next generation. He said, it's great.
Another thing too that I would say, when we first started reacting, we would react to Tom McDonald a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And he would kind of like have messages that would like resonate with us, and like he would say things that like typically a younger black person wouldn't really agree with, and we would hear it and be like, well, that's actually the truth. So for me, that's kind of why my mind started kind of changing in that direction, because it was like we would pause it, but he just said this, and that. But low key, that is true what he just said, and that's when I started thinking like, you know. And I remember me and Tahj one day when Trump in 2020, when Trump lost the election, we were sitting in the house and we were just like, we just started kind of even thinking about politics at all. Like, I didn't even think about voting or anything. And I wasn't like hard either way, but like I was kind of like everybody else. I was just like, yeah, I guess, you know, since I'm black, I'm a Democrat. And then that's when I just had a feeling. I was like, Tahj, I just feel like it wasn't good that he just lost that. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like this was a mistake. He was like, yeah, I feel like that too. Here we are now.
I definitely want to ask about the Democrat thing, but I do want to go back to Thomas Sowell real quick, because you were saying that he was saying something like that black culture is not supposed to be this way, or like what do you mean by that? Like, what was he saying?
I don't know what exactly he said, but he was bringing the redneck culture into it.
Cause of
Yeah.
where it
like,
came from.
Yeah, he said like
Europe.
the ghetto black culture, the subculture is what he referred to it as. He said it comes from like European rednecks who were poor, and blacks were among them after slavery. So like kind of being ghetto, they kind of adopted it because they were poor and blacks were poor, and that was just kind of how they adopted it. And he was basically saying like that's not what real black culture is, but it's uplifted as black culture. It's really like a subculture within black culture. And he was just basically saying like how like it's adopted as like something that's normal when it's really negative. It was like really deep. And I remember we were just sitting there like, that's so real. Like he's really breaking it down. And, like to hear it from someone like him, like who's a way older guy than us, it's okay. So we're not really tripping when we say that this is bad and like this ain't really how we're supposed to be. But yeah, no, that really just opened our mind up to it. We watched a couple of his videos, and the way he just breaks stuff down was really easy to digest.
He's a genius.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But there's a conspiracy theory that racists intentionally promoted negative culture to black communities through rap music. And I'm not saying rap music itself is bad. I'm saying they put messages in there like get drunk, bang women,
For sure.
Yeah.
buy drugs and all that stuff, so that young men growing up would chase after something that was detrimental.
100%.
That's a fact.
Oh, that's facts.
Yeah.
That's 100% facts.
And I don't
Especially
know-
in the black community.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a fact, but I've heard several times like some of the same people who own some of these record labels own some prisons. So it's like you're trying to get them from here to there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a fact
And
or
then
fact check me on that, but that's what
Hearing
I've heard.
Lyndon B. Johnson say we'll have black people wrapped around the Democrat Party for 200 years.
Yeah.
I think it's
So
old.
It's
a long time.
It's actually crazy. Speaking of that, it's actually crazy like the backlash you receive for like just being black and not saying you don't want to be a Democrat. Like it is insane. Like
What's it like?
oh man, it's like we get like most of it. It's all online, never in person. In person, it's always love.
all
always
love in
Yeah.
person. Yeah.
Literally,
They
like,
ain't about that in
Yeah,
person.
nobody. It's never in person. I wouldn't start by saying that, but online we get coon, traitor, sellout, all this stuff, and like they be saying we grifting, like we just saying this for money. Whole time we dead serious. Like you ask any one of us, I know for a fact, you ask any of us what we say on camera, we'll tell you the same thing off camera. Like we're not on there BS, we're keeping it 100. But people think like just because we have such an audience, we're just saying it for clicks.
Yeah.
I know for a fact we keeping it 100. Like
I remember when we first started the political content, people was like, yep, I mean, this is a business plan at this point. I'm like, wow.
That is
Dude.
crazy.
These people are nuts, man. The idea that choosing a political faction is going to make you more money, it's the stupidest thing, because they say it about everybody. It's like, if you did pop culture movies, and I mean, look at Call Her Daddy. The biggest podcasts are not talking about politics. They're only now because the politicians are trying to buy into them. Yeah. But the biggest podcasts are like maybe somewhat, they might mention something political. But you look at if I were to pull it up, you're going to find 3 guys talking about dinosaurs or something nonsense. General interest comedy shows, not overtly political. And then the moment you guys watch someone like Thomas Sowell and you're like, hey man, maybe they've been lying to us, and you get passionate about it, they say you're doing it for money.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy because like we don't just blindly agree with everything. Like if we don't agree with something, we'll just not agree. Like so, like I mean, I find it interesting. I think people just do that because they think the world should see things from their point of view. So when you kind of disrupt that and don't do that, or fall in line with what they think you should do, they start just throwing the labels and insults at you. But that, again, it's mostly online. Like, in person, it's always love, especially from, like, people of color, like black people. Yeah, black people, Hispanic people. Like, I was just in Dallas the other weekend. Black dude came up to me, was like, dude, I love your videos. Like, so, like, every time we go out now, we get recognized by, like, people our age. And it's always positive. It's always love. So I love that, me personally.
Yeah, my mom loves your videos.
That's
Like I
awesome.
mentioned.
Yeah.
She's so excited.
No, actually, we were in LA at this movie premiere, and these old dudes came up. This old Hispanic dude, Los Angeles. Like, I love your videos. I watch every single one. Like, I want you to know you're making a difference because you found someone like me all the way in California. I was like, hey, thanks. Like, that's awesome.
I remember we went to the Reagan event. One of the producers, was
yeah.
like, he was like, "Y'all the biggest people that's in here right now." I was like, it was surprising.
Isn't it crazy though that like you'll meet these people and they're gonna say, thank you for making your videos. I listen to them, I hear what you're saying. And then the people online who are mad at you and calling you slurs and names and all that stuff, it feels more like, I'm just gonna be mean and call it a cult.
Oh, for sure.
You have to be aligned with the name of our club. We don't care what's true. We don't care what's false. If you guys make a video and you say, here's what we're thinking, they're not going to say, hey, do you want to have a conversation about this? They're going to insult you and attack you for doing it. There's no argument.
Yeah. Nobody try to have no middle ground at all for some reason. I don't know why we.
Yeah.
It's almost like you just break the narrative and go your own way. People get mad at you for that. Like, for thinking for yourself, like, oh, you don't think like us? Oh, you're not one of us then. You're a sellout. You're this, you're that. It's like, damn, dude. It's really, to me personally, we don't have to be enemies. It's not that deep to me.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he may see something and say it's red. I might say it's blue. That's just what it is. It's not the end of the world, in my opinion.
So you guys were all doing track and stuff in college?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, tell me about that. Like, and then you end up meeting, you make a YouTube channel. Let's start from the beginning and then we'll walk through where we get to.
Yeah, so in So I moved to Louisiana, the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. Shout out to Rage Occasions. I moved there in 2019, right before the COVID hit. I had ran like at a junior college and stuff before that. And so when the COVID hit, we decided to do YouTube. Like I remember the day like it was yesterday. I remember I was going to the cafeteria to get some food. I ran to Solomon and Tahj, and they were like ecstatic about something. I could like see it even before I even heard what they were saying. I could see it on their faces. And they were like, bro, we had the best idea of all time. I was like, what? It's like, we making a YouTube channel. I was like, all right, bet. So we started doing YouTube videos. We tried basketball videos, prank videos, football videos, and then we started doing reactions, and then it just hit. But as far as track, like, we just had like a super, like, we were just grinding in college. Like, we would wake up, like, good treatment and all that, go to practice, and then me and Brandon were getting our master's degrees. They were still in their undergrad, so we would go to class all day, and we would start at like 10 p.m., 11 p.m.
Yeah, every day.
Videos every single day. And like we would go to sleep like 2, 3 in the morning and then wake up and just do it again.
Repeat. Yeah.
And then, so we just kept doing that. And I still run track right now. Like I run professionally for the Ghana national team. So I just go to practice, and then come home and then record all day. So I just feel like it's just a matter of using the talents that God has blessed me with. You know, I feel like I'm good at YouTube and I'm good at track. So I'm gonna keep doing them.
Definitely. Yeah, no. Like you said, I came in late. I was actually at school in Kansas when they had started. I graduated from there. I remember I don't know. I had did a lot when I was at Kansas. So my senior year, I had the extra year from COVID. Like they gave us a year back. And I remember everybody. I got accepted to grad school there, and I remember everybody was like, "Oh yeah, you're coming back." I was like, "No, I'm not." And I remember I text Brock. Me and him are boys from high school. We're from the same city in Oklahoma. So I texted him. I was like, yeah, I think I want to transfer for my next year. He immediately called me. He's like, you serious? I was like, yeah. He said, I'm going to go talk to my coach right now. And that's against NCAA rules. So he's like saying stuff to Brock, and Brock was relaying it to me. So he was like, yeah, he said apply and call back. So I applied literally a week later. I applied literally when we got off the phone that same day right there, paid $20, applied to University of Louisiana. Next week, I got accepted, called him again. He was like, all right, do this, and we're gone. Then summer goes on, I get accepted, end up going to Louisiana. And I just moved in, and they were doing YouTube. So, I mean, I had heard about it. Obviously, Brock was telling me about it, and I think we were at like, what, 10,000?
I don't know.
Yeah, we weren't very big.
Yeah.
15, 10,000, around that range when I started doing it. And yeah, I just kind of fell into it with the guys, and
I knew he would be
took off
good
from there.
on the channel too, like just on his personality. I knew it would work.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a lot of fun. But my situation was different when I came in because I was a grad student and I was a grad assistant as well, also on the track team. So I'm doing stuff all day. I'm waking up, going to GA, then I go to lunch, practice, treatment, class. Then I get a class. It's 9 o'clock. We 4 videos a day till midnight every day. And I was like, man, I'm really like dedicated to this. I really want to see this break off. And it got to the point like even my teachers would show the videos in class like, yeah, look what Brandon's doing. I was like, oh.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon. So subscribe and come hang out.